If you're watching this video, chances are you've probably caught yourself saying something like, man, I hope I never have to work with someone like this again, or something like, I can't wait until this project is over. And it's probably safe to say that you're probably working with the wrong type of client, or that they're probably not a good fit for your offer. So really and truly, trying to identify who not to sell to is just as important as trying to figure out who your ideal client is. Hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Jay, and today I'm gonna give you 8 questions that you can ask to ensure that you're clearly gonna be able to identify who your negative persona is. And so what is a negative persona? I like to define a negative persona as something that represents a type of client that isn't a good fit for your offer. It's about recognizing who you're not targeting so that you can concentrate your efforts on those who align more with your offering. So starting off with the questions to actually pinpoint this negative persona for your coaching program. I'm going to assume that if you're watching this, you're probably a coach, but this is also relevant to pretty much anyone. You can just take this thought process and add it to your business, but for this video specifically, it's going to be for coaches with programs. So the first thing is looking into behaviors and habits. So the golden question here is going to be, what actions might make someone unsuccessful or disengage in your program? And as an example, this is a client who consistently cancels or reschedules sessions last minute and indicating a lack of commitment. So the person that's always hitting the abort button. And so you're probably wondering, how in the world did they get into my program to begin with? I have some possible reasons that they actually may have enrolled into your program, which are they were attracted by your super persuasive marketing without fully understanding your program's demands. They overestimated their ability or readiness to commit, or maybe they just felt this external pressure to join, and this could come from peers or families. So this is something to consider when you're designing your email marketing or your landing pages. You want to ask yourself these types of questions of like, could a bad client come into my program and them not actually being ready to commit to at least the first call? They're always rescheduling. So understanding this is going to kind of like separate yourself from these types of clients. Next is going to be stage of life or business. And the golden question here is going to be, are there particular phases where your offer is beneficial? So example here, an entrepreneur in the ideation phase, seeking basic startup guidance, while your program is probably designed more for scaling established businesses. And so here are some possible reasons how they got into your enrollment. They probably misunderstood the program's target audience due to vague description. So on your landing page, you want to be very clear on who this program is for and who this program isn't for. They hope to gain advanced insight prematurely. So maybe they're in the headspace of like, I may be starting off, but I at least want to know what I'm getting into in the future. So like, I want to prepare my future self, and it just didn't align because they need more information that's going to be relevant to them today in their phase of ideation and just starting a business, rather than they've hit 6 and 7 figures and they're trying to figure out how to keep scaling and manage people. So totally different programs. And the last thing is gonna be here. They received a referral without proper context. So if you have a affiliate program, this will probably, not work to your advantage. If you're getting a lot of leads that sign up for your program, that's not a good fit because your program isn't designed for their phase of business. So next is going to be attitudes, values, or beliefs, which is probably the most important thing in my opinion for coaching programs. The golden question here is, which mindsets could clash with your program's goals or delivery style? And as an example, an individual who is resistant to feedback and perceives it as criticism, hindering the coach's process. So if you have that one person, if you're giving them advice like, hey, what if you tweak this to this? What if we shift this limited belief to this? What if we shift from this fixed mindset to this growth mindset? And they're always in attack mode. They think that you're picking on them, and it's probably that they're not in the right headspace to where your program would be most beneficial to them. So I think a way to get around this is to create some type of a survey just to kind of audit their current, attributes, values, and beliefs. So that's not something that you're battling inside of your program. So possible reasons for enrollment are they were unaware of the program's collaborative nature. They didn't want to show up and actually do things collaboratively. Maybe they just wanted to fill out a lot of paperwork. Maybe they just wanted you to do all of the work and just to ask them a lot of questions and not have to put in any effort. They joined based on surface level beliefs without understanding the core methodologies. Again, this can be easily fixed with your content marketing or on your landing page by just outlining, your methodology and what they're going to need to bring to the table to be successful. The last thing is going to be they were encouraged by someone else to join despite personal reservations. Again, this is probably peer pressure. You probably had someone that took your program, super motivated. They have a friend and they understand that their friend could possibly benefit from your program, but the friend wasn't willing to commit like the original individual. So these could be some things that could cause problems. The next one's going to be financial mindset or situation. So the golden question here is going to be who might not be ready or willing to invest into your offer. And so here, as an example, this is a potential client who frequently expresses concerns about costs, seeking discounts, or questioning the program's value. So honestly, I feel that you could probably filter out these types of leads in your content marketing and in your ads by doing a call out and setting these expectations and kind of letting them know what it's going to cost, both money wise and time wise. You kind of filter out the people that's not going to be a good fit for it. And if they end up in your program, this is probably what happened. They probably felt pressured by limited time offers or discounts. So if they are strapped for cash and they don't really believe in your program enough to invest into themselves, they're probably gonna go ahead and take that discount offer, but then later on realize that, I don't really see the value in it and ask for a refund. And then you're doing a lot of refunding. Another one could be they hope to negotiate terms post-enrollment. So this could be them hopping on a call with you and kind of asking more questions about the program, which isn't a bad thing. But again, I think if you had some type of a survey to kind of help ask these questions to filter them out, or your FAQs could easily take care of any types of these types of people that are going to waste a lot of your time based on is this going to be valuable for me and can I afford this right now? Or even in your FAQ, you can kind of talk about if you have payment plans. That's also beneficial, but extremely helpful. The last one's going to be they misunderstand the program's pricing structure. So what I just said, that's going to be FAQ. Easily attack that with your FAQ. Should definitely filter out this type of customer. All right, number 5, unrealistic expectations. The golden question here is what expectations could lead to dissatisfaction? As an example, someone expecting immediate results without understanding the need for consistent effort and time investment. So I think I hinted at this a little earlier, but this is that misalignment and expectations that the coach is gonna do all of the work. All I have to do is show up. They're gonna give me all of the motivation that I need to go and do the things. But like, if they're not willing to actually, take the advice and do the things, they're probably going to be a terrible fit for your program. And how they possibly end up enrolling into your programs, probably going to be one of these. They were swayed by testimonials showcasing rapid success. They didn't review the program's timeline or commitment requirements, or they misinterpreted marketing messages as guarantees. So, not saying that testimonials are bad things. They're never a bad thing. They're social proof. They're showing that, hey, if this person did it, maybe I can do it. But the problem comes with the expectations. They probably didn't read enough or understand enough what's going to be required of them to be successful in that program. So I'm going to pause really quick. If any of these questions are kind of like leaving you kind of confused and you want me to dive deeper into them, let me know in the comment section. But if you are aware of this, if you have had, any type of customers or clients that have been any of these so far, also let me know in the comment section what happened, what was the story, and how did you get around it and making sure that you didn't have any more clients like that. So let me know that in the comment section. Moving on to number 6, type of business, niche, or personal goal. So here the question is going to be, are there specific areas your offer doesn't address? So as an example, a professional from a highly technical field seeking industry specific advice that your program doesn't offer. So I believe the gift kind of communicates, what if I say I'm not like the others? And I feel like this happens a lot. And this is probably because of, on your landing page, your program opt-in page, whatever it may be, this wasn't communicated who this program is for and who this is not for. Even having some type of a agenda or a list of things that's going to be covered in the program. So there's no misalignment in expectations. They know what they're getting into, and they know that they're probably not going to be deep diving into one specific type of topic that's going to be super niche to their industry and their needs. But if it is, that should be outlined on the landing page or in the email or in the post or in the ad or wherever it may be. However the lead came to know about your offer, your program, you want to be very clear on who it's for. So how they showed up, how they probably got there was they assumed the program's principles were universal. They didn't thoroughly review the program's curriculum, or they were referred by someone unfamiliar with the program's specifics. So again, you have that the friend that probably means good, but they didn't do their research. They probably just looked at the headline. They understood what the friend was going through and it's like, oh man, this will be a good program for you. And they just sent it to them. They enrolled. They didn't do any research because they probably trust that friend. And now you're kind of dealing with this. So the easiest way around that is to keep communicating who this program is for, who's going to benefit from it the most, what's going to be covered in it, and testimonials that actually are very specific on where they started and where they were at after the program. So we call that transformation. So what's the story of transformation with that program? So moving on to number 7, and we're almost done with 2 more. So number 7 is going to be around personality traits or communication styles. The golden question here is, which traits might conflict with your delivery methods? And the example is going to be an individual who prefers a rigid, structured approach, whereas your program may emphasize flexibility and adaptability. So if someone craves structure, they want to know exactly what's going to be coming up next, but your style is more in line with being more fluid and maybe a bit more creative than typical programs, it's probably going to be a terrible fit for them. So if you kind of communicate that in the FAQ section, or any way that you're marketing your programs, like this is what the experience is going to be like. It's not like those typical structured programs. It's going to be something super transformative and agile. So as long as you're communicating it, you shouldn't have a problem with it. But if you want to know how they end up in your program anyway, it's probably one of these reasons. They didn't assess their personal learning style before joining the training. Before joining. So they didn't really have a good idea of what type of learner they were, whether it be they learn better by doing things as they're learning them. Maybe they're an auditorial learner, so they like to listen to things. If they're a visual learner, they're going to like to see things. So just having that understanding is probably super helpful. And maybe you can actually mention that, like, hey, you probably want to be aware of your learning style to understand that if you like more hands-on programs, this is going to be for you, because this isn't going to be a lot of material that you're just going to listen to in your downtime. This is going to be hands-on, more engaging, more collaborative. The next one's going to be they were attracted by the program's outcomes without considering the process. Again, having those testimonials about what the outcomes are, the transformation, but also considering the process, like how many days, weeks, or months this is going to be. How are they going to have to show up to the actual programs? Is it going to be in person? Is it going to be online through Zoom calls? Are they going to have to download pieces of software to engage with you? All of this is important. Next is going to be they overlooked introductory material that outlined the program's approach. Again, they probably missed that email that you sent out that says, read this before you show up to the first session. So it's just over communicating. You can never go wrong with over communicating because it really does help keep this negative persona away. And number 8, goals or desired outcomes. So the golden question here is, who might be seeking something different from what you're actually providing? And for example, and this kind of sounds like all of the rest, but we're hitting it from a different angle. So the example here, a client aiming for a rapid career advancement in a corporate setting, while your focus is on long-term personal development. So you kind of feel that, you're not on the same page, probably not even the same book, just like this GIF here. And you're probably wondering how they actually got here. Like, what was the miscommunication? What did you not state? This is probably what happened. They misinterpreted the program's objectives. They were influenced by peers or mentors to join. They didn't explore alternative programs that were probably better suited toward their goals. And so if you're clear on saying that, my program is for long-term personal development. So if you're looking for, strategies on how to land that next corporate career gig, this probably isn't going to be a good fit. But if you want to take the long road and develop the soft skills to where you get that job, you can keep leveling up, you could kind of complement their short-term to long-term goal with your program. It's all about how you package it. So I also want to mention that there's not always going to be a case to where you have a terrible client that's always going to be energy draining and, just super disrespectful or just undermining your program. The chances are they probably just weren't a good fit for your offer. Just as clear as that. So it's not always that your negative persona's gonna give off, negative energy per se. It's probably they just didn't read something or something wasn't really communicated on your end. So hopefully these questions help you to, combat those miscommunications and not being able to clarify expectations. And if this video has helped in any type of way, let me know in the comment section also which one of these questions you probably should have asked. Let me know what the question was and how you actually got around it to make sure that you didn't end up working with those types of customers in the future. But my name is Jay. That's all I have for right now, and I'll see you in the next one.